This is my last video. The one before this one is actually the seventh video. This is my eighth video. And I'm sorry, sir, I forgot. I lost count of how much video that I make. But my name is Anissa Dwi Maharani and my student ID number is 2500004025. And this time I will reading news with title Okay. What's hard, fluffy, and ethically dubious? Yak clothes. Hong Kong. On the high altitude plain of Tibet, ringed by snowy mountain and buffeted by harsh wind, scientists are hard at work creating horn, fluffy clones. They are Tibetan yaks, just like Appa from Avatar, designed and cloned in secretive labs more than 4,000 meters above sea level, where researchers hope to create an elite herd of super yaks, healthier and more fertile than their predecessors. This project, scientists hope she could even potentially revive a wild species revered by local Tibetans as a favorite of the land god. The long-haired Himalayan cattle are a critical part of region economy and culture, but both domestic yak and their wild cousin has been facing threat for years, with some rare subspecies at risk of disappearing entirely. Authorities in the southwestern Chinese region have poured tens of millions of dollars into boosting the yak industry in recent years, and they hope cloning can help. The first yak clone came in July 2025. Chinese state media hailing it as a breakthrough achievement that combined cloning with gene selections. More clones were born this spring, and researchers are now aiming to create a herd of more than 100 elite yak clones by 2028. 100. Yeah. Boasting desired traits like faster growing and larger size. This shows that technology has moved from one-time success to stable, mass-scale application, said Wang Xingguo, the project scientist lead and director of the State Conservative Center of General Research of Indigenous Wildlife, according to the state-run news agency Xinhua. But the project, which is supported by the Tibetan government, has also raised a concern among international observers. Cloning remains highly controversial, especially since the Extensions project, which gained global attention for trying to bring back long-dead species. Many experts acknowledge there are legitimate arguments for using clones in conservative and for gene selections in farming, but the ethical waters are murky, and any such project would have a high level of public transparency and accountability, said Melissa Moses, a veterinarian and bioethicist at Harvard Medical School. So far, much of the yak cloning project remains mysterious, with information largely limited to glowing stats media cover. CNN reached out multiple times to Fang and the other on the researcher team. Fang employee Zhejiang University, China State Council Information Office, and the Tibet Autonomous Region Information Office, all of them either reference requests to the other authorities or never respond. They keep it quiet. Yak to the future. Oh my god, yak is cute. First of all, there are two main types of yak in Tibet, and the cloning project have a different goal for them. There are wild yak, which face the risk of extinction and extend, extinctions and protect under Chinese law, their number have declined by more than a third in the last 30 years, just 10,000 to 20,000 individuals left, according to the Wildlife Conservative Society. Then we have a smaller cousins, the domestic yak, which is not integrated in the number, roughly 40 million worldwide. The vast majority in the rarefied air of the Tibetan plateaus, the backbone of the Tibet's economy, used by nomadic farmers for wool, milk, meat, and farming labor, such as plowing field. Both species are threatened by the climate change and habit degradations, with warmer temperature bringing invasive plant species and increased competitor for research, a brief problem of one of the world's most inhospitalized terrains. In the plateaus, it is just a fragile ecosystem, and with climate change, you have more extreme weather. If you could wipe up entire herds of particular area, if you have really bad winter storm, said Coral Chayo, founder of Sokai, the yak wool clothing brand that worked directly with conservative organizations and Tibetan communities. There is also the problem of inbreeding and crossbreeding. White yak crossbreeding with domestic yak, with shrinking their wild genetic pool, and domestic yak are crossbreed with cow, similarly affecting their own genetic pool even within the same species. Unchecked inbreeding has harmed genetic diversity and overall health, experts say. Over the past decades, yak body size and weight has gone down as well as their fertility, with just 20% success rate in natural reproductions and fertilizations, said Fang, the lead scientist in the news released by Zhejiang University last year. Human activity and ecological change has led to a severe degradation crisis for yak populations. How to clone your yak. This is the tutorial. First, scientists select the strongest, the healthiest yak as a DNA donor that take their somatic cell, any non-reproductive cell in the body, and extract the nucleus, the tiny core that contains the yak's genetic information, and then transform into an eggshell which has its own nucleus removed. The fertilized egg becomes a clone embryo which is eventually implanted into a surrogated mother to carry to term. The first successful clone come by domestic yak DNA, a small fluffy black calf born via C-sections. Video from Xinhua show the Knobi neat unborn resting on straw, big stroke and examined by scientists in white coat. The following 10 clones are also domestic yak, were all natural births, which may allow smoother rollout on a larger scale. The university said as of June and the clone calf were growing healthy, according to the media reports. Chinese researchers say that this approach could bring major economic benefit to the domestic yak industry. For one, it must foster a natural reproduction, said a separated news release by Zhejiang University in March. Yak breeding notoriously slowly, with female breeding just 4 or 5 offspring in their lifetime, a major challenge for their long-term survival. And while yak are already unique and adapt to their tough environment, with thick fleece for extreme cold and huge lungs set to the thin air, scientists can choose yak donor with the best genetic traits to breed clones with higher fertility, better disease resistance, and stronger resilience, said the university. This can improve the quality of their genetic pool and boost farmer livelihoods. Economic advantage aside, they're also hoping that to apply this technology to the conservative of wild yak, especially to the gold wild yak as a subspecies with only about 300 individuals left in Tibet, according to China state's media. They are so rare and refers it has taken to a semi-mythical air, sometimes described online as a divine beast. There are actually some news left, but because it's already 10 minutes and I'm going to end this video. This is my last video for English and Phonetic class. Thank you, sir, for hearing my news reading that is so bad. I know, I'm sorry. I'll try my best. There are so many new vocabulary, and I keep forgetting of how to pronounce them, even though I already searching or ask Google of how to pronounce about divide or something like that. I hope you could understand me. Yes, divide. Okay, thank you. Bye bye, sir.